So welcome to another video, guys. Tonight, well, it's night for me because I've been working on this new distro, but we're going to be talking about Garuda today on our computer. So if you like the operating system that I reviewed and you want Garuda Linux on your system, today we're going to be downloading it, installing it, and checking out how it is when it's just installed on your system. Now, the first thing that we're going to do, as usual, is go to the internet and download the files that we need. Um, so you're going to access this website here. It's garudalinux.org, and this is the official website for their downloads. Alright, so on their website, you're going to see the different flavors that they have. Now, the one that we're going to be downloading is the Dragonized version. Here, if you have, it says torrent, so if you have a torrent downloader like uTorrent or qBTorrent or any kind of torrent downloading software, you can just click on this and it's going to open up in your torrent, and I don't think I have one, or I do. I don't think I have a torrent downloader right now because this is a different operating system. So you just can go ahead and click on direct download from FastHost. So after that's downloaded, you're also going to download your Blender Etcher. So you go to their website and download the Linux 64-bit file. Usually you're going to see a exe file downloaded here or here. So you click on that if you're using Windows and download the exe file and run it and open it like in a regular program. Alright, so once your ISO file has been downloaded for your Dragonized Linux and you have your program downloaded, that is Etcher, to do the work, you're going to go to your downloads folder where Etcher is downloaded and go ahead and open it up. If it opened up after it installed, which is after it downloaded, then that's fine. Here in Linux, I'm just going to have to go ahead and execute it, and it's going to open up here. Now you click on this that says flash file and select your ISO. Now my ISO is going to be in a different location than yours. Yours is more than likely going to be in downloads. So it's going to be this, the Garuda Dragonized Linux Zen. This is the latest one as of this video. So go ahead and click on open. You select your target. So okay, so I don't have a flash drive plugged in right now, but you're going to have your flash drive there. You don't need anything that's more than 4 gigabytes. So once you have it there, let me just see if I can plug one in so that you can see what this process looks like. And boom, there. So I have Fedora on this little flash drive here that I used. So you select your flash drive here, and then you just click select, and then you just click flash, and that's just going to start the process. You just wait on it. It's going to make all the partitions and do everything for you and configure the flash drive so that when you connect it to your computer and boot from it, it's going to boot right into the live USB environment. When your USB is done flashing, when Etcher is done flashing that ISO, you can just go ahead and safely remove it from within your computer. Depending on the computer that you have, I think Acer usually uses F12 or F8 to boot from the peripheral devices. HP uses F9, and most other computers uses F12. You can also do a quick research on your computer to find out how it goes into. So depending on your computer, let's say you have a Dell computer. So Dell advanced boot menu, and see what is the hotkey that gets the system to boot from your USB. Once you get your system to boot from your USB, you're going to get an environment that looks like this. It's going to ask you to boot. Sometimes some BIOSes ask you if you want to boot from a USB if it recognizes that one is plugged in, but if not, then you have to use the hotkey to get into it. Once you get it to boot from the USB, it's going to look like this. Now, this page here has the option for you to install Garuda with open source drivers, and that's for if you have an AMD or an Intel CPU and GPU. And if you have NVIDIA, then you use the proprietary drivers. So I have NVIDIA, so I'm going to select this one, and it's going to immediately boot us into our live environment where we can start messing around with things. Alright guys, so welcome to another video. As promised, we will be downloading and installing Garuda Linux, where you see flash file, and you will, well, once you downloaded your Garuda Linux, and it's that easy. You just downloaded a 2.4 gigabyte file, download a very small program, use the program to flash the file onto a USB stick, and then you just configure your computer so that it can boot from the stick, and then this is it. It's gonna come up with all these white writings and so forth that looks scary. If you press F9, nothing happens. Okay, because sometimes when you press F9 it gives you a little, okay, so when you press F9 it gives you a little more, a not so scary looking screen with not so many writings. So do you see how easy this is? You don't even have to install the operating system if you don't want to. You can just create the bootable drive and boot into the live USB and see how it feels. Test things out, see if your sound works, if your internet works. Plug in all of your phones and all of your other devices and see if they pick up, because they should. They don't need any drivers. Even the controller, I figured out that a controller that I had to be searching the entire place for drivers for on Windows, I just plugged it in and it just worked on Linux. So you don't need any drivers. Alright, now it looks like this because I'm running it in a virtual machine. So wow, it's very ugly. And this is their welcome screen. Let me just close this out and see if I can configure the desktop for better resolution. I think I need to do some configurations because it's still a bit slow within the VM, but I'm going to work on it. And I was just in the settings here and I realized that it's not much different. This one does have a few more features than the Fedora distro that I'm currently running, but I do have my dragonized partition. That's my main drive. My main partition has this dragonized on it that I reviewed. All of my files and all of my main stuff is there, so that's where I do all of my work. I'm just doing some testing out a few drivers on this Fedora to see how it functions. But separating aside, this is my daily driver. I would recommend that you try this operating system for yourself. It does come pre-installed with a lot of applications, so you more than likely will have some applications installed already that you can play around with. I want you to do it. I want you to try it yourself and let me know how it feels. Give me your feedback. I'm going to leave the links to everything in the description along with more detailed instructions. And yeah, thank you very much for watching and enjoy your Linux distro.